Good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new chapter, My Lost Dollar. It is written by Stephen Butler Leacock. He was born on 1869 and died in 1944. He was a Canadian humorist, lecturer, and author of more than 30 books. Though he also wrote books on history and economy. He was most famous for his humor. Some of his noted works include nonsense novels, sunshine sketches of a little town, and Arcadian adventures with the idle rich. The Stephen Leacock Memorial Medal for Humor was named in his honor. Leacock was a prolific writer. He wrote humorous fiction, literary essays, and articles on social issues, politics, economics, science, and history. He claimed, "I can write up anything now at 100 yards. He described city life very well in his writings. Now, before starting this chapter, I want to tell you something about it. Actually, My Lost Dollar is a short story with a subtle humor. The story amuses the reader and also evokes laughter with its carefully woven narrative between 1915 and 1925. Leacock was one of the most famous humorists who wrote in English. Let us come to the chapter. Now, first of all, I want to ask you children, have you ever borrowed money from your friends? Or did you remember to return it? Now, imagine a friend borrows some money from you and forgets to return it. What would you do? Now let us start the chapter. My friend Todd owes me $1. He has owed it to me for 12 months, and I fear there is little prospect of his ever returning it. I can realize whenever I meet him that he has forgotten that he owes me $1. He meets me in the same frank, friendly way as always. My dollar has clean gone out of his mind. I see that I shall never get it back. On the other hand, I know that I shall remember all my life that Todd owes me $1. It will make no difference, I trust, to our friendship, but I shall never be able to forget it. I don't know how it is with other people, but if any man borrows $1 from me, I carry the recollection of it to the grave. Let me relate what happened. Todd borrowed this dollar last year on the 8th of April. I mention the date in case this should ever meet Todd's eye, just as he was about to leave for Bermuda. He needed $1 in change to pay his taxi, and I lent it to him. It happened quite simply and naturally. I hardly realized it till it was all over. He merely said, "Let me have $1, will you?" And I said, "Certainly. Is $1 enough?" I believe, in fact, I know that when Todd took that $1, he meant to pay for it. He sent me a note from Hamilton, Bermuda. I thought When I opened it, the dollar would be in it. But it wasn't. He merely said that the temperature was up to nearly 100. The figure confused me for a moment. Todd came back within 3 weeks. I met him at the train, not because of the dollar, but because I really esteem him. I felt it would be nice for him to see someone waiting for him on the platform. After being away for 3 weeks, I said, "Let's take a taxi up to the club." But he answered, "No, let's walk." We spent the evening together, talking about Bermuda. I was thinking of the dollar, but of course I didn't refer to it. One simply can't. I asked him what currency is used in Bermuda and whether the American dollar goes at par. I put a slight emphasis on the American dollar, but found again that I could not bring myself to make any reference to it. It took me some time. I see Todd practically every day at my club, to realize that he had completely forgotten the dollar. I asked him one day what his trip cost him, and he said that he kept no accounts. A little later, I asked him if he felt settled down after his trip, and he said that he had practically forgotten about it. So I knew it was all over. In all this, I bear Todd no grudge. I have simply added him to the list of men who owe me $1 and who have forgotten it. There are quite a few of them now, and I only wish that I could forget. But meantime, a thought, or rather a painful thought, has come into my mind at intervals. It is this: if Todd owes me $1 and has forgotten it, it is possible, indeed, it is theoretically probable, that there must be men to whom I owe $1, which I have forgotten. There may be a list of them. The more I think of it, the less I like it, because I am quite sure that if I had once forgotten $1, I should never pay it on this side of the grave. If there are such men, I want them to speak out, not all at once, but in reasonable numbers, and as far as possible, maybe in alphabetical order. And I will immediately write their names down on paper. But if any man ever lent me $1 to pay for a taxi when I was starting for Bermuda, I want to pay it. More than that, I want to start a general movement, a back to honesty movement, for paying all these odd dollars that are borrowed in moments of expansion. Let us remember that the greatest nations were built upon the rock basis of absolute honesty. In conclusion, may I say that I do particularly ask that no reader of this book will be careless enough to leave this copy round where it might be seen by Major Todd of the University Club of Montreal. Now, children, let me explain you this chapter. My lost dollar is a story narrated in first person by the author Stephen Leacock. The one-line summary is that he tries in many ways to get back that $1 he lent his friend Todd for paying his taxi to go to Bermuda. It is made to be funny by using exaggerations on the amount, $1, and on friendship. There is humor made out in the efforts of the author, all efforts going in vain. The author picked a tale of two friends who are found in common place. The author actually lends $1 to Todd in the name of friendship and in kind. After Todd goes to Bermuda, he had not forgotten about it. He expected Todd to return it as soon as he could. But Todd avoids it, as if he had forgotten it. After some days, Stephen gets a letter from Todd. He mentioned the temperature in Bermuda, but not about the dollar. When Todd returns to the town after 3 weeks, and then Stephen meets Todd at the railway station. The author does not explicitly ask for the dollar. Instead, he puts in a word that they hire one taxi to go to Montreal. Stephen said that to remind Todd about $1, he paid for taxi ride to Bermuda. Todd does not agree and then suggests that they walk. So he did not get the hint of the author. The entire evening they spent talking about Bermuda. All that while Stephen expected Todd to remember the $1 that he owed him. But he did not explicitly mention that. Perhaps it was the embarrassment in asking directly. It could be that in friendship one should not explicitly ask money lent to friends, and that to too small amount like $1. Perhaps it is a shame to ask directly. Then he inquires about the currency in Bermuda and its value as compared to the American dollar. Actually, he expected that Todd would remember that $1. Todd seemed to have forgotten about that dollar completely. At dinner, later, Todd said casually that Pauline does not per her debts. Finally, Stephen gives up the dollar from Todd. He adds the name of Todd to the list of people owing him $1 and have forgotten about it. Also, he gets a thought that just as Todd has forgotten to return $1, perhaps he himself also forgotten to return money he borrowed from others. He does not remember any names. He wishes to start an honesty movement for paying those the odd dollars that he borrowed earlier. Honesty is important. The author leaves a final comment in humor that he did not want Todd to see the copy of the book with this story and read this story. So, the moral of the story is that small or big, one should return the money owed to others. That amount may be important for the lender. Further, it gives a great pain to the lender. If the borrower totally forgets about money borrowed, an honest man remembers the help done by friends.